Welcome to Sales Velocity TV, where we pull back the curtain on how the top businesses in the world sell more with less resistance. Bringing over 50 plus years of combined sales experience and over 100 million in revenue generated, please welcome the hosts of Sales Velocity TV and two incredibly entertaining gentlemen, Andrew Cass and Aaron Parkinson.
Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. I'm Andrew, that's Aaron, and we are tackling another episode of the Sales Prevention Department here on Sales Velocity TV. Aaron, it's been like a month or two since we've done the Sales Prevention Department. If you're new to the show, you're like, what are you talking about? I couldn't think of anything more counterintuitive than prevention. Yes, we will talk about periodically how many businesses are actually preventing sales, and it's so instructive when you see what they're doing wrong. And really, this stems from our experience, right? This is sort of an entertainment-based topic that we tackle about every 1 to 2 months, where we've come across businesses that are actually deterring sales, and it is so instructive when you find out and see what they're doing. A lot of times they don't know it, and it's a great learning experience. I told you before, Aaron, I used to kick off my live seminars for like 7 years straight with a small taste of sales prevention in front of the room, and people that was like the thing they talked about the most is, what do you got for the sales prevention department this month? And here we are again. It lives on.
Well, and it's really also just for us to have some fun. And but what's the key takeaway is there's no judgment, right? The purpose of these
a little bit of judgment, maybe.
Well, I mean, there's no judgments to the people who are listening, right? Or when they're watching, right? Is that, you know, we want you to listen and think about your business and think if any of these elements are accidentally happening in your business, where maybe you can do a little audit and you can see if some of these things are mysteriously sneaking in to what you've got going on. So, you know, it's not just about us coming on and venting. It's about thinking about your own business and how you could potentially improve it.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we share is experiences that we deal with. And since we're so close to it, I'm always looking for two things, Aaron, when I'm doing business with anybody, any vendor, offline, online, doesn't make a difference. I'm looking for, and I have two great examples of actually a sales prevention scenario and then a complete opposite of a sales prevention scenario where this entity, it was just so dialed in and doing everything so thoughtful and organized, right? It's amazing. And you can see it, right? You see who's thoughtful and you see which businesses are sloppy. And at the end of the day, sloppy businesses you don't necessarily want to buy from, right?
No. So maybe you're going to give an example today of a sales acceleration department that you ran into.
Maybe sales acceleration, or just a sales department, not a sales prevention department, right? It's just a real sales department, meaning you're designed to sell and you're designed to create a good process and you're designed to make people happy about their decision. You're not pissing them off along the way, which is sales prevention. So I've got two, and I think you got two.
I've got two today. One is tactical, and one is experiential. And so I've got two. So I could start with one of mine, and then you can share one of yours, or you can start and I'll share mine after.
Go ahead. Which one you got first?
So I'm going to talk tactical today because I know a lot of our viewers and our listeners, they love give me the ABCs, give me the tactical. Okay. So I was working with a client this week, very cool group of people, Hollywood group. Her husband was a very famous director. He passed away, and now she's doing a skincare cosmetic line. So they were asking me about their checkout page on their website. And they were saying, you know, what should we do to maximize conversions here on our checkout page? So again, we're talking tactical for number one. So I'm going to throw some stats at you, Andrew, and I'm curious to know your answers. Okay. So if you add PayPal to your checkout page, how much do you think that increases your conversion rate?
Oh, I would say at least a 10% bump, maybe 20.
It's somewhere between 12 and 15% of additional free sales because people trust PayPal. It's easy to use. They've usually got their login already integrated.
Yep.
And they're good to go. So one of the things I said to them is you have to have PayPal in here because it's free money. Number two, guess how much Google Pay has now impacted the marketplace?
Google Pay, huh?
Mm-hmm.
How much?
No idea?
No idea.
4.2%.
I was gonna say another. I was gonna say another 10%, but that might be a little bit of a
too high, right? It's still too new. But 4.2% of people would prefer to use Google Pay. So I said to them, you want to add PayPal and Google Pay and a new payment option called Afterpay. Afterpay is where you can actually buy it, you can get the product, you can check it out, and then you can choose to pay it or choose to return it. In fact, last year, one of my big e-commerce friends said that Afterpay accounted for 27% of their sales during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Very, very interesting new payment option that you can add to your e-commerce store. But here were the big ones. I said, are you going to charge for shipping? And they said, absolutely, we're going to charge for shipping. And then they said to me, should we charge for shipping? And I said, well, go do some research on Google. And the term that you want to punch in is checkout abandonment, right? What are the top 3 things that cause people to abandon carts online? What's number 1 out of the entire list, Andrew?
probably excessive shipping charges.
Unexpected shipping charges at checkout.
Funny
Right?
you say that, man. We're dealing with that right now, buying furniture for our new house, and like literally, we're like, "What? 7% shipping on the whole order? Goodbye."
Right.
Happening.
You just instantly said,
Good
I'm out.
night, Irene. There's plenty of competition that doesn't charge it at all.
And here's the thing. Prime for Amazon
Yeah.
has conditioned buyers, especially in the United States, that they shouldn't have to pay for shipping. Not only should they not have to pay for shipping, it could get there
Yeah, so
tomorrow.
they've disrupted that whole issue.
They've disrupted everything when
Yeah,
it comes to
they
shipping.
did.
So now you've got customers are conditioned, and that is a sales prevention issue at the highest level. So how do we solve for that? Because shipping's expensive, right? I just said to them, just bump up all your prices
Bump your
by
prices a little
10%.
bit. Yeah, because
And then-
because to gain the ability to say free shipping is such a massive sales accelerator, to your word earlier, right?
Absolutely.
But I think a lot of them don't think about it, though. And I think a lot of companies online they don't connect the dots on, because they're not marketers really, so they
No.
don't connect the dots on if we said free shipping, right? Versus
In our
just,
ads, on
just
our
defaulting to
website, on our
shipping.
checkout page.
Man, oh man, the amount of sales bumps we would get would be crazy. It's just they're too close to it. So
Yep.
you giving them opinion, us seeing it on a show like this, it's like boom, nirvana. You will double your sales.
It's insane how the difference. I've done the split tests on my own e-commerce store, and
Yeah.
even like really stupid small amounts, Andrew. Like I'm talking about $15 products, and saying it's $3 shipping, or just saying that the product is $17.95. There's no comparison in conversion rate, none at all. And if you have the ability to say ships from the U.S. will arrive within 7 days,
Oh,
and
if
free-
you
and
put
free
speed
shipping,
on top of no shipping, forget about it. There's another bump.
yeah, it's just factor in what your costs are going to be, add it into the price, and use the free shipping as a marketing advantage versus trying to play the uphill battle game of charging for shipping. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
glad
crazy.
that you just had this experience recently, because you can verify it for me.
It's happening
All
every day.
If it had been 7% more, Andrew, on the price,
Yeah.
but it was free shipping, would you have stopped?
Oh God, no. No.
But sales prevention kicked in, and you're like, I'm out, because you're
like
irritated
my
by it.
wife's freaking out because she's handling a lot of the furniture, and she's like, "I'm not using this company. Look at the shipping charge." I'm like, "Yeah, that is a little ridiculous. If this company over here doesn't charge it, and then this one doesn't charge it, but then this one over here does, and it's like 4 to 7% of the whole order. It's like, what a total difference. You start to take your business elsewhere. That's the
Correct.
issue, right?
Sales prevention department.
Sales prevention department. Now, a lot of you listening probably don't ship real products. You don't have shipping, but the lesson is the same. Could there be some little pillar in your process that you could remove that removes resistance? Shipping is just a metaphor here.
Well, and do you know what the second highest one is on a checkout page if you go
Tell
do
me.
the research? It's making me create an account before I can move forward.
Before you buy something?
Before
Oh,
you
I
buy
couldn't even
something,
think of a
before you
whole-
get to
yeah.
see something, whatever, it is such a brutal
You mean
stuff.
before money exchanges hands?
Correct.
Yeah,
right.
that's
so you may
that's
have a
crazy.
process in your, let's just say you have I'm going to choose a totally different industry.
Yep.
Let's just say you're an insurance agent, right? And you're generating leads for your insurance business. And you say, before we can talk about your insurance policy, I need you to create an account. Oh, dear Lord. That's it. You're done.
And if it takes more than like a minute today, forget it.
Not even doing it.
Good night, Irene.
People just aren't doing it, right? So, it's small things that you can look at and ask yourself as you're going through here, is there anything here that irritates me or potentially insults me that I have to do just to engage with you and become a customer?
Correct, man. Correct.
Right? I just want speed. I don't want any friction. I want it to be easy, and if you're doing any type of marketing, your sole goal is to capitalize on the person's vibe. They're doing something at that moment because something has triggered them to make them want to do it. Don't put roadblocks up in their way, no matter what you read somewhere or what somebody told you. Oh, you should do this. Don't do it.
But listen, but at the end of the day, you hear us say this a lot. Test it. Prove it to yourself.
Yeah.
By going, okay, the next 10 orders are going to have shipping. The following 10 orders are going to have no shipping. And you just look at the amount of visits, the amount of shopping carts, hits that you get, and you see which ones come out the back door, because I would be shocked if paid shipping outperformed free shipping. I would be completely shocked. But listen, you made a point a second ago about how the process becomes frustrating, which leads me to my sales prevention example. So 2 days ago, I'm looking online to find a outdoor kitchen vendor where they build the grill, Aaron, right into the wall, and it has a fridge next to it, right? Yep. Maybe has a sink. Like you can kind of come up with some themes, but the whole heart and soul of it is like the grill.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm on this really cool site. Won't mention the name. Some sort of BBQ guys or whatever. There's a million of them out there, right?
Yeah.
They're lucky that I don't remember the name right now, because then I throw them under the bus. So it's actually good for them, but still the same lesson, right? And I'm like, man, this is awesome. This is exactly what I need. You can fill out a form to get a 3D design done. I'm like, but I'm a guy that just likes to call. So I call the company. Really nice lady picks up the phone. Already like that. And I'm like, all right, so how do we get started? How do I get you guys to just design it, lay it out, give me some options? She goes, oh, no, we don't do that. All we do is sell the stuff. You have to go onto our website, and you have to choose the grill, choose the sink, choose the fridge, choose the storage, and then and we just ship it to you. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I assume you have vendors and contractors that you would pair me up with, so that once I go spend $6,000 on this outdoor kitchen, you then have a contractor in Naples, Florida, who can come and install. Oh, no, we don't handle any of that stuff. We just sell the material. I said, so I have zero experience with grills and outdoor kitchens. You want me to go to your website, pick out stuff sight unseen because I like the way that looks, and then hope that somebody can come install it and it fits, and then I have to find that person. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works. I'm like, so you have no option for me to get an all-in-one, one-stop solution where I buy from you, spend the money, number one, and then you provide me resources and contractors who will do it all for me front to back? No, that's just not the way we're set up. And I was like, but that's the way I'm set up. I said, I'm looking for somebody who can do the whole thing for me. I'm willing to give you. I
just want to give you money. I just want to throw money at you.
And I literally said, I'm not going to buy something without having the right consultation and design, pre-buying it to make sure like they wanted me to do all the work. And I'm like, that's got to be a roadblock more and more as people call in, because what would make me just go buy a random Weber grill that might go into the wall, that might look good with the fridge? And then I'm like, I'm out. There's got to be a million companies out there that do this. So 2 companies later, Aaron, one of these guys, another grilling company, local company I found, you go to their website and you answer some questions, and they start to give you little 3D designs along the way. And then when they reach out to you, they say, give us a call. We're your one-stop shop. We'll source the material. We'll come and do an analysis, and we'll install it for you so you don't have to worry about anything. I'm like, that's my guy. It was a polar opposite experience of they just put so many walls up, and they had way cooler stuff, by the way. The first one, way cooler stuff, right? Cool factor across the board with all the kitchen stuff. But man, nobody who's in any way busy wants to coordinate a project with 3 or 4 different vendors to get the thing done. The time spent would be astronomical. Second set of guys was like, well, you don't even have to worry about it. We're going to get it all done for you the way you want it. And we're going to give you info and details and transparency along the way. And I was like, that's exactly that guy. Those guys know how to sell.
And these guys, this is all going to tie together to the same theme today, which I wasn't planning on, but I can see the trend. Okay.
The train is coming.
And so I'm gonna end. You may have another one that pops up into your mind. I'm gonna give you my next one, and then I'm gonna tell everybody who's watching and listening how this ties together in one theme today.
Yep.
Okay. So I have multiple properties, as you know, and I've been doing a lot of renovations and stuff this year. And when you do renovations, you need
Hey,
contractors.
you're dealing with a lot of people.
Right. And so, you've got your electricians, you've got your plumbers, you've got your HVAC guys, your AC guys, and with the amount that we've been doing, and then you got stuff breaking, right? You're always looking for like that core guy, the core company that's going to be your
core
go-to,
group, right?
right? That's just, these are my guys, right? Because I don't want to think. I want to say, I want that done, or I've got this problem, come and deal with it, right? So, I live in the Cayman Islands, which, I understand that in a small Caribbean island, you would expect that things are more difficult to do. But I see this in the construction industry in general. I saw it in Canada. I've seen it in the United States. I've seen it in many, many places, right?
Right.
So I was going through electricians, testing them out, and they weren't showing up on time. They didn't have the parts. They couldn't get the job done. They wanted to talk to me 100 times. Like, I just want to give you money and just do the job
Still
right.
frustrating, right?
I don't even ask them what the price is. Okay. I'm your ideal client. Just tell me what I need and tell me how much it's going to cost. I won't haggle you. I won't just do the job. Right.
Because of the convenience you're providing me, I will not shop you. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. So I eventually found this company, and what really sold me was we have a rental unit that we had COVID, with quarantiners in there, and nobody could.
Did you have to make me throw up today?
I know that
Did you have to? I mean,
but let's leave the COVID thing
All
alone.
right,
Just look at the detail,
Fair
right?
enough.
So they couldn't go in the unit, and the person couldn't come out of the unit because they were
oh
quarantined,
my God.
right? And the AC went out. You know what it's like you're in Miami. It's hotter here than it is there, but you understand when the AC goes out.
Yeah, AC is the deal in the South.
It's a big problem,
Yep.
right? So these guys, on a Sunday, when nobody works here on Sunday, it's after hours, everything's closed. These guys go and find out that the microchip is gone on the condenser unit. And right away, that's usually a 3-week lead time to order.
All the part, yeah.
On a Sunday, they go search, call their buddies who have warehouses, get them to open up the warehouses for them, find a replacement microchip, come back and install it. Oh, and by the way, it's when a hurricane was rolling in. At night, blowing, raining, crazy, Sunday, went out of their way, found the microchip, installed it, done. Renter was ecstatic on a Sunday when nothing's open, right? I'm like, you're my guy, right? You're my guy from now on, right? So I've used this electric company now probably 21 times this year. I have no idea.
The amount of repeat business, there's the lesson.
I don't know how much I've spent with these guys. If I had to guess, it's probably north of $40,000 this year. So the guy that is the boss of this company is British, and he works out with me at my gym. Super nice guy. So I walk in the other day, and he's talking to some other member, and he said, it's amazing how low the barrier is for success in this industry.
In the electrical industry?
I don't know if he was specifically talking about electrical.
Contractors as a whole are notoriously unreliable.
He said, I cannot tell you how many people thank me for just answering the phone.
It's amazing.
For just showing up on time.
Oh, God.
And just getting the job done in the time frame that we said we'd get it done.
Yep.
He said 3 simple things. Answer the phone, show up on time, get the job done in the time frame that I told him. He said, we don't do anything special. We just do those 3 things. And we set ourselves apart from 90% of the people in the industry,
that guy gets it.
He gets it.
He gets
right?
it.
And so now look at these 3 examples that we've given you today. Okay. Create an account, free shipping, payment options, right? Number 2, all-in-one service, which you could charge more for because you got to build it into your model.
You can do the all-in-one, one-stop shop. You can. Don't think you can't.
Right. You absolutely can.
You might not be able to right this moment, but we're not talking about right this moment. We're talking about, can you plan to have that as an available option, right? That's
Correct.
The key.
And the last one is just pick up the phone, show up on time, and get the job done when you say you're going to get
Wait
the
a
job
minute,
done.
is that
I have
called-
literally never asked this electrical company how much it costs to do the job.
Is that called
How
integrity?
great of a client am I?
Is that called integrity?
Well, you know what the trend is?
Is that called integrity?
It is called integrity.
Why is it so hard to come by today?
Bill Belichick would say, just do your job, right? So that's what Liz and I look for.
Yeah.
We hire vendors, and all we want to know is, are you just going to do your job? If you just do your job, I'll give you lots of money, right? So, but the trend that we see across all three, what is it? It's time. Okay. Everybody's moving at a faster pace now. There's more ads, there's more notifications, there's more speed, there's more softwares. Everything's becoming more efficient, which means time is put at a higher value.
Great point. Yeah.
Right? It was time on the account setup and the payment options. It was time in your scenario of I don't want to have to go and find a contractor and do all these things. Save me time, right? In my example, same thing. It's answer the phone, show up on time, and be done when you say you're going to be done. It's time. So when you look at
the shipping one is money. So it's time and money, but I agree that time is number one today. Shipping is money, time is everything else, right? It's
absolutely.
Great point.
Take a step back and look at your business and ask yourself, going through it, we always suggest an audit. Mm-hmm. Where in my process am I not valuing my customers' time?
And that's the $1 million question.
Right? I don't know if you remember the movie with Al Pacino, and I won't say the exact word because we're, semi-PG, but he's yelling at somebody.
When did we become PG? Where did we go backwards here? I thought we were like triple R. I thought this was a triple R rated show. I
can't remember the movie that he says, but you'll remember this. He says, "Don't waste my motherfucking time."
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. What movie was that?
I feel like it might have been Any Given Sunday, possibly.
Oh, it might have been Any Given Sunday.
Might have been Any Given Sunday.
Yeah.
People are so irritated now by you taking their most valuable asset, which is time. They are offended when you waste their time, even if it's something as small as I just want to check out quickly with PayPal.
Right.
It's quicker for me.
But Aaron, that elevates to another level as you climb more and more up the affluent ladder. So as someone's more and more affluent and they're more and more established and they have more and more money. So if you want to sell to a higher tier person, believe me when I tell you, believe us when we tell you, if you don't value the time, like you said, I think the time lesson is big here. I wasn't even expecting to come out of this with what you said. Time.
Nor was I.
Yeah, it really is a great point. It's what can I engineer in my sales process to give people back more time and make them happy, right? And wow, the higher up the ladder you go,
your fulfillment process.
Aaron, the higher up the ladder you go, the more and more that's valued. If you continue to play that game as you go more and more affluent, you will have no affluent customers.
No, there's no question, right? Every purchase that I make now, I'm mirroring the purchase against my schedule.
Right.
What do I have to give up in order to get what I want? I don't want to give up anything. I want you to tell me I've got you. Okay? I only need 3 things from you and I got you. In fact, I'll have it done in 5 minutes and you're done. Okay, great. Here's my money. Because I want the outcome. I don't want the time suck. Just give me the outcome and I'll pay you whatever you want.
So one other example, Accelerator now. Is now I've got the Best Buy Geek Squad home theater in-home consultation guys, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the polar opposite of what I just explained. The guy is so articulate. I know he's been in sales for probably a decade plus. He goes like this to me. He goes, I had him come in and they do an in-home consultation, which is pretty cool because they can take measurements from the wall. We recommend 75-inch TV. What are your thoughts for surround sound? Asking all the right questions. He says, let me tell you something, Mr. Cass. He says, you can count on me to basically get this job done from front to back, where I will give you every single solution along the way from video to audio to aesthetics. You won't have to worry about a thing. I'll give you 3 tiers of quotes, and you will have the very best sound system and audio experience of your life. And we will take care of everything front to back, including even some design and architectural help on just aesthetics of the room. And I was like, I was so blown away. I was speechless.
Here's my credit card.
Yeah, I was. Here's my. Here's my credit card.
Here's my credit card.
But I was like, I'm always looking for. I'm a language guy. You are too, right? I can tell by the way they speak No mumble jumbo ums and ahs, no crazy disorganized cell phone on the fly calls, like really thoughtful, organized communicator, number one, and then saying all the right things, looping back to the point of, I'm not going to just have you ship a bunch of TVs and speakers in for me to then go find the guy to install it. I love that you're coming to the table with an all-in-one solution to the point of the show, which is you're going to come in, measure, design, source, audio, video, tie it together, aesthetics, black, white, boom, and I'll have it all to you by this afternoon, sir, he says. And I appreciate the time, sir, and I want to let you know, this is quote, I'm quoting him because I'm so blown away. He says, I appreciate the time. Congrats on your new home. And I want you to know that I value the relationship this early on because we forge long-term relationships in this home theater audio video space because we know you'll have other needs. I was like, I got to see if I still have a heartbeat. I thought my pulse was, I was blown. This doesn't happen much anymore today.
You were so excited.
I got to hire this guy.
The charisma and the skill and the thought that was going into it. And he's right.
Man,
we did exactly what you're talking about.
He did exactly what you're talking about, which is give them back their time.
Give me back my time. Don't make me think about it. And if you don't know this, and this is a good point, maybe to bring up to support what you just said, as you go up the affluence ladder, right? And there's a million levels to the affluence ladder. I'm certainly not at the top of the affluence ladder by a long shot, but the reality is that once you kind of get beyond a certain number per year in revenue, you start to associate that by hour. What is my time worth per hour? And you and I both do this a lot. I know exactly how much my time was worth per hour. And if people knew what my time is worth per hour, they would probably fall off their chair, right? I look at how much you're taking away from me, and I'm constantly calculating it in my head about how much I'm losing because you're sucking my time out. And to me, there's a direct dollar amount associated with that because I know what my time is worth per hour. So in your case with them coming in and saying, hey, let's do this consultation, I had the same thing happen with all these built-ins that I have behind me in all the rooms.
Right.
Guy showed up, he walked through, I felt good. He was in and out within an hour. Exactly. Told him what I wanted. He came back 2 weeks later. He had everything laid out on a computer.
Amazing.
Where he went through every design with me. This is how it's going to look. This is how it's going to look. This is amazing. I felt like it was a great use of my time. He was organized. He was prepared. Whatever. As soon as he said, okay, this is the quote, I didn't even look at the quote. I don't even know what the quote, I have a general idea of how much the quote was, right? But the fact that he came, he valued my time. He was organized. He asked me my opinions. I told him what I wanted. And then he went off and did it. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
It had to be.
It's almost like you get to that point, Aaron, and you almost, I mean, I still do. It's kind of the way I'm wired. I'll still try to say, hey, can you do any better? Can we get the price? I know you don't, but I still do, but I do it really loosely. Like the worst I'm going to get is a no. I'm still going to probably try to get a better deal, but usually if somebody's that thorough, I want them to be paid in full. I don't even want to haggle.
And that's the same way as, again, going up the affluence ladder. When you go up the affluence ladder, you typically work with vendors who've also gone up the affluence ladder. And I'm a big believer in people should get paid for their worth and paid what they want. And I don't want them having a negative sentiment on working on my project because maybe I lowballed them a a little bit. Right. So
I get that.
I don't, but I don't judge anybody that does because it's a great thing to do.
I just do it once in a while.
But the reality is that the built-ins were probably $100,000, and I didn't even look at it because I already knew it was going to be done the right way, and my time was going to be valued, and I knew it was going to be executed.
Yep.
Right. So, again, summarizing this episode today, ask yourself when you look at your process, whether it's a process from stage, whether it's a process online, whether it's a process over phone or Zoom or in person, how are you and your team showing up to the equation? And most importantly, I think for today, how are you valuing your customer's most valuable asset, which is their time? Even as going as far, Andrew, and people may have missed this, understanding that their time is valuable and thanking them for it. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to establish this relationship. That person was valuing your time. He told you he valued your time.
I think most business owners default to how can I save them money? How can I value their money more, which I think matters to a degree, but I think the time element here is bigger. As we said, as you get more and more up the affluent ladder, it's bigger. And if you can figure out, okay, right now in my product line, in my service line, if I don't have an obvious time saver product service deliverable, how can I engineer one? How can I create an all-in-one, one-stop solution, concierge style product or service that literally takes somebody from beginning to end and you're hand-holding them along the way and keeping them in the loop versus making them do things along the way that sort of piss them off, right? That's, I think, the takeaway here. But
yeah, and going to your price point, right? A long time ago, somebody said to me, it's not the deal, it's the feel. What we're talking about is the feel. Mm-hmm. When you're in the price competition game, typically you don't have a whole lot of bond with your client long term. It's transactional. Mm-hmm. A lot of the stuff that we talk about on this show, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with transactional, and Walmart's a behemoth because they're transactional, but nobody loves Walmart.
Well, look what Amazon did. They're transactional too, and they architected Prime one-time $99 a year, no shipping ever. I mean, huge.
Transactional.
Yeah.
Right, but nobody's bonded to them at a core level. What we're talking about is if you have a business where you actually interact with people. You don't interact with people at Walmart. You don't interact with people at Amazon. It's just purely transactional.
Yeah, true.
If you have a business where you interact with people, then your goal is to move from transactional to tribal. Tribal is, I feel like they valued my time. I love the people that are there. Their customer service is amazing. And what ends up happening when you put those elements in place, they cannot help but talk to other people like you're doing today on this show, talking about Geek Squad, about what an amazing experience they had. The guy who did my built-ins, he has 5 more jobs since he did mine. Why?
It's amazing the repeat.
Told all my friends.
Repeat business.
I told all my friends.
Referral and repeat business.
Exactly.
Right? Referral and repeat business. And don't forget the grill guy. I mean, we got you. We'll take care of this front to back. Don't even worry about it. We do this all day. Like, that's all. That's it. That's it. If you can engineer that type of a conversation, believe me when I tell you, you will get so much more business. Don't let yourself default into the stress of, I don't know if I could ever do that in my business. It's default thinking, right? It's sort of like scarcity thinking. And right now you might be going, I don't know. I don't know if I could ever do it. Well, don't try to figure out why you can't. Try to figure out why you can, because it isn't as hard as you think when you actually think about it. A lot of times we don't think about it. So we go, we default to charging shipping in your example, right? We default to having them do this when really maybe I could bring someone in to do this. I could bring in a new person to fill that role, right? So 99% accuracy, there's a chance you can do it. You just haven't thought about it yet. So it seems on the surface like you can't do it.
And look at Amazon as the example of what you talked about earlier today.
Yeah. Amazon
now has, when you shop, preferred vendors in your local area.
They've used it a lot, Aaron, actually. You upgrade to the contractor in your area to come install the TV, as an example, for an extra $99. I've done it at least 4 times. That's a great opportunity right there. That's very smart.
We would be able to sell way more if people didn't have to figure out how to install the thing themselves. Okay, well let's
it loops interview back to the barbecue example.
Exactly.
What if she said to me, "Don't worry, once you pick what you want, we'll have somebody come to the house, lay it out, design it, measure it, make sure it fits before we charge your card." Let's say, I don't know.
Absolutely. Or we'll send somebody out right now to sit down with you for an hour to look and make sure it's measured all properly and it's going to fit, and then they'll install it.
You don't want people just randomly buying things. Was I really going to go randomly buy all these grill and kitchen materials? Like I couldn't even imagine. I'd rather not have it. I'm like, you know what?
It feels like they were more set up potentially to only deal with contractors, where contractors would know that.
Maybe.
But if they were selling direct to consumer, there's a big hole.
Direct to consumer website, pitching the whole thing direct to consumer, not direct to distributor, not direct to contractor. It's direct to consumer. So there's a hole there. Huge miss, huge hole.
Let's reach out to them and help them structure a done for you element in it, and we'll take a rev share on it. What do you think?
Take a rev share. Sounds good. I'll make that call today. So
all right, let's
hopefully
wrap
this
it up
was,
there.
hopefully this was helpful, everybody. This is a topic we revisit periodically, like I said in the beginning, about every 4 to 8 weeks. It's been a while since we've done the sales prevention department, but I love coming back to them because, we always come across them. But I'm glad we got to blend in the polar opposite today. It's good to see that there is some integrity left out there. It's good to see that there are some strong companies out there who value the relationship, the experience, the all-in-one solution. You had one, I had one. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting just prevention, but we had 2 acceleration. We'd have to have another version of the show, the sales prevention department, and then the sales acceleration department could be, to your point earlier, a good idea as well. But I'm going to wrap it right there. All shows, everybody, are at salesvelocitytv.com. We are live every Friday for Sales Velocity TV at the public Sales Velocity TV Facebook page, and of course on all your favorite podcast platforms by radio as well. We'll see you in the next one. I'm Andrew. That's Aaron. This one's a wrap.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Sales Velocity TV is powered by Pipeline Pro, the ultimate all-in-one sales pipeline management and marketing automation platform that makes all others obsolete. And we can prove it. Take a tour at gopipelinepro.com. See you on the next episode.